Hey, this is Nate at Smoky Hills. Something I never thought I'd say. Excited to show you about a few different options for using the toilet in the winter time or in the summer in Ice Castle Fish Houses. I think a lot of people are wondering about the bathroom situation, but no one really wants to ask the question. So today we're going to talk about 4 different options for using the toilet in the winter, starting with the very simplest, which is just your 5-gallon bucket in a bag. And that's going to be in any of your non-RV ice castles. So that's going to be pretty typical for the popular Lake of the Woods models, Mille Lacs models, Outlaw like we're in right now. Any of those type of just more or less a fish house. So for that option, for the 5-gallon bucket, pretty simple. We just put a bag around it, and a little thing that we've learned that works is take like a bungee cord and strap it around, just to keep the bag on there. And we'll talk about all kinds of different stuff for all the different toilets here. Now the 5-gallon bucket, pretty simple. Slide it right under there. Sometimes you use like an RV toilet treatment, and this will just cut down on the smell for the toilet. So maybe take one of these bottles if you're going to be using it for the day. Pour some in the bottom, and then you're good to go. Now, this is one option. The first option we're talking about here, of course, the 5-gallon bucket. Then there's a cassette toilet and the dry flush toilet, and then finally the actual RV package with the water flush toilet. Just so you know, a standard 5-gallon bucket like this can be upgraded to a dry flush toilet, and you can find that at goicefish.com. So let's take over to the next house, and we'll show you the cassette toilet. So now we're out in the Boss Castle, and this Boss Castle comes standard with a self-contained toilet. Now this is one of a few different types. We actually sell these in Smoky Hills. Some of them have a flush. It'd be a self-contained toilet in the matter you flush it down there, and then it's accessible from the outside. You can't put chemical in the toilet, so you really don't have the smell. There's a vent in some of these toilets, some of them there's not. But anyway, that's what these kind of toilets look like. Let's go take a look on the outside. I'll show you how it dumps. So now we're on the outside of the beautiful Boss Castle. This one right here, you just turn the knob. And this cassette toilet here, if you look down, or the self-contained toilet, it's got a yellow thing you push up there. We're just going to pull that out. And then this would be for dumping here. Just turn that out, take this off, and then you would dump the whole thing into your sewer. And then now we'll move on to the dry flush toilet. And here we're with the third option, the dry flush toilet. And this is probably the best for wintertime use and the least hassle. So the way a dry flush toilet works, for one thing, you can get these on goicefish.com. Laveo makes this toilet, dry flush. They are battery powered. Usually at Smoky Hills, the guys will hardwire them for you, so you don't have to plug anything in. We'll mount it securely to the floor, because they do mount down with some screws. So this is the way a dry flush toilet works. Obviously, it's in here. Every time you flush this, it's gonna kind of like a diaper genie. I'll actually flush it here. So it's got a bag on the inside. You flush right here. It's gonna kind of vacuum seal the bag and suck a new bag down every time. So if you go to the bathroom, you can see what happens here. So you're going to get about 15 flushes out of each canister, and the canisters are easily replaceable. And you can get these on goicefish.com also. So each one of these is going to be about 15 bags, and you never have to touch anything. And every time it pulls down, it's going to be a brand new bag, so you could touch your hand in there. It's brand new. There's no smell because it's all vacuum sealed from the bag before. And as you can see, once the canister is full, you'll reach in here, and then there's a black bag that goes around the entire thing. So when it is full, and we're done with it, we would just take this whole bag out, tie it up, bring that, and throw it in the garbage, and there's nothing else to mess with on that. And this can be found at goicefish.com, and we'll go on to the 4th option. Now, if you want to see a full review on the dry flush toilet, we will be doing that soon, so you can show the ins and outs of the toilet there. And now we're standing in the titanium edition, which is one of Ice Castle's most loaded RV editions. You can get that only at Smoky Hills. And this is going to be similar to a lot of people's RVs. So you got the shower, you got the sink. So this stuff you're not going to want to use in the wintertime for the most part. You would only use this if you're going to keep it heated the entire winter. If somebody was living in it, maybe you could keep it heated the entire winter. But obviously your lines could freeze. There's lines running through the walls. There's different connections. So you want to make sure everything's winterized before you use the toilet. Now, I have this same setup in my house here. And it was actually rather convenient. Last year I didn't think I was actually going to use the toilet because of course I'm a guy, I could just go outside. And that's usually what the guy said, and the wife is usually in here arguing that they need the toilet. So the toilet usually wins. But it is really nice to have, especially when it's 20 below. You don't have to go outside. And what I did all winter is you got your RV antifreeze. So the reason that you're going to go with RV antifreeze versus just a regular car antifreeze or anything else is that this won't eat up the bacteria that's good for the tank. So the bacteria, the biopacks and all that stuff is going to eat up the waste and help things go smoothly through there and get rid of the smell and all that kind of stuff. So you don't want to use the antifreeze for an auto because that will kill all the good bacteria that's in the wastewater tank. Now, what I did last winter, I marked each and every one of these. So if I start on my gallon number 1, I marked it with the number 1, and that way I can kind of tell without having to look down the tank how many gallons I might have in. So if I used 1 full gallon, I doubled that, and I figured that there's actually 2 gallons of waste and RV antifreeze in the tank. So pretty simple. If you were to use the toilet, take off the tap. You just dump enough in there, and I would just dump, just enough so you can use the toilet. Then you just go ahead and flush it. Now, when you turn this, it just goes straight down. So we're not actually using any plumbing. You're just going straight down into the holding tank. You have a 30-gallon holding tank directly under the toilet, and once you fill that up, you can dump that at dump stations. Like in Park Rapids, I know there's 2 dump stations that are open all winter long. So you'd want to get about 10 gallons of waste and RV antifreeze in there, just so you have enough to flush out the tank. And you are going to want to don't leave that stuff in there for extended periods of time. It could separate and get to the bottom of the tank. So after you're done with your fishing trip, your weekend out on the ice, your week, whatever it is, do go out to an RV dump station. And there's a few other things I'll show you that's going to help things go a little bit more smoothly. There is RV toilet paper, and the reason they have RV toilet paper is because it breaks down easier. You're not going to want to use the standard toilet paper in your house because it can clog up when you go to flush out the tank. Now biopacks, I was just kind of talking about that. You drop those in the tank, and then that's going to help break down the waste and the toilet paper and all that stuff that's in there. And same with just one more type here that's popular. These are the ones that I use. You just, real simple, just dump one of those in before the weekend I use, and then that's going to help break down the waste and cut down on the smell. If you have any other questions about the plumbing, the water systems, or any of that kind of stuff, you can give us a call anytime. We are open 7 days a week. Give us a call here at the store. We'd be happy to help you out.